this is the first module. They're using combat skills to manage the voices in your mind, your thoughts. So I thought for the first module, I would start with the most important skill, the most difficult skill to be consistent at, because it is the most boring skill. And that's the title of this video, which is Foundations. If you don't have a solid foundation, and if you don't nurture that foundation, then all the other skills are going to be compromised. Also, if you don't have that strong foundation, then you're not going to have the stamina that's required to maintain that practices and different things like this. Because as you guys know, and is not the wrong word, this so often is a battlefield, isn't it? So there's three things, I find three pillars, if you will, in developing a strong foundation. And they are nutrition, physical movement, and then non-physical skills. Let's go with the first one, nutrition.
Funny looking. Can we eat it?
So when we're talking about nutrition, I want to mention two things first. Balance. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you have to eat like this. Okay? On the other hand, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to eat like this either. We're looking for balance. The other thing is, it's important to figure out what works for you. I think there are some common themes that it's important for us all to have in our diet. But at the same time, I'm not expecting you to be Olympian athletes. It's balance. A balance of all three, right? We've got the diet, we've got movement, and we've got the non-physical skills. So finding for you something, a balanced diet that you can maintain. And for me, that's probably the biggest thing. I'm recording this, it's probably the 13th, I think, of January. I actually just worked out at the gym this morning, and actually my hair isn't quite dry from the shower.
Did you go take a shower? I showered!
And the gym is full of everybody that's starting their New Year's resolutions. And you give it about 2 weeks, and probably 80% of those people won't be there. So this is why balance is important. Finding something that works for you, that you are able to maintain over the long term. What type of a diet? Maybe not this, maybe not this, maybe something in the middle that you can use that causes you to feel good.
Eating is supposed to be enjoyable.
That you can maintain. The first pillar in our three pillars of building that foundation. The second skill is, you guessed it, is movement. Moving your body.
It's lousy with Jane Fonda workout videos.
For me, when I was teaching and traveling so much, I walked everywhere. I don't know how much I walked every day. And for me, that got my body moving, because we can non-physical, we can meditate like day and night, but we also have to move this body. We have to get this energy that's so often dormant, right? We have to move. We have to get it moving with more than just our thoughts and our visioning and different things like this, which is powerful, right? But to move, whatever it is for you. And I think that's what's important. So for me, for the last however long, 5-7 months or so, it's been kickboxing. And this is where I really learned the importance of fundamentals, was because when I started kickboxing, I focused on the technique and the skills and different things like this, but I didn't focus on the foundation, which is building core strength primarily. And I found very quickly, I basically reached a ceiling on the level of my efficiency and the stamina. So then when I focused on core exercises, which they're boring, right? They're kind of dull.
Boring.
I think this is why we miss out on these things. So as we talked about in diet in the last section, right? It's like, oh, diet, okay, well, gee whiz.
Ugh, this food looks gross.
But if you don't have that physical nutrients, just like the non-physical, if you don't have the physical nutrients, you're not going to be able to move. Your body doesn't have that energy. And believe me, you need all three of these firing on all cylinders if you want to come up victorious in these battles. So physical movement. The last one, which is the one I taught about the most, is the non-physical.
Hey, my name is Rusty, and I'm his editor. This next segment is way too long, so I'm creating a part 2 of the Foundation's teaching. Stay tuned.